This episode is brought to you by the very good humans at Frameline. The world's longest-running queer film festival, Frameline 50, the 50th San Francisco International LGBTQ+ Film Festival, is returning to theaters in San Francisco, Berkeley, and Oakland, running June 17th through the 27th. Called the most crucial event on the summer film calendar by KQED, Frameline 50 celebrates the bold visions of more than 150 queer filmmakers and artists, including Coleman Domingo, Greg Araki, Hannah Einbinder, and more. Browse the full lineup and buy tickets at www.frameline.org. See you at the movies and Frameline's 50th birthday.
I feel like San Francisco, I don't know, there's something about the air you get as when the plane lands and you're on the little tube out of the airplane, you're like, okay.
That was Abigail Munn, founder of San Francisco's Circus Bella. I'm Jeff, and this is Storied San Francisco, a show about the artists, activists, and working people who make this city unique. In this bonus episode, meet and get to know Abigail. Her parents came to San Francisco to work in the arts. Abigail was born and raised here, and her life, unsurprisingly, ended up in the art world as well. Hear the story of her childhood, college years, and return to the city and the founding of her circus company, Circus Bella, nearly 20 years ago. Here's Abigail Munn.
I'm Abigail Munn, and I am the executive director and co-founder and ringmaster at Circus Bella.
That's many titles.
Then there's
many
more.
hats?
Many hats.
There's more.
There's more. Truck driver, laundress.
Yes.
Coffee maker.
Cook.
Cook sometimes, although I don't cook. Well, once a year I make spaghetti for everybody. But
that's very sweet.
But I wear a lot of hats, and during the summer, a pink satin top hat.
Oh, amazing. We'll get to that probably.
That's my main hat. We'll get to that. One thing at a time.
Yeah. Okay, so let's hear, and I like to tell any guest on my show, and I think yours is going to be interesting because you're from here. However far back in your own story you want to go as far as like parents, grandparents, ancestors, maybe if you know the story of who in your family and when they came to San Francisco and why they came to San Francisco, that kind of thing.
Yeah, so my parents came to San Francisco in the 70s to work for San Francisco Opera.
Okay, wow.
So my dad was a lighting designer. Amazing. And to work, Kurt Adler, who was the general director of the opera at the time, had heard about this guy that was doing really cool things with lights. And they came out to do a season, and my mom was also got a job working for, it was Affiliate Artists, but which is now has become kind of the Marilla program. So my parents were working, and they were like, oh, we'll stay here for just a year, and then we'll go back to the East Coast, and then... and they're still here.
a story that I'm a little more familiar with, which is my own story and some other transplants, which is that you moved here and you didn't have a plan. Your parents actively were like, we're doing a season and then leaving, right?
Yeah, and then one season and two seasons and three seasons and
so the city got them.
The city got them, and then and they were able to buy a house. It's just it was a different time. I also think, it was a different. I still think. I'm not a complete doom and gloomer about San Francisco. I think there's so many great things, but I as an artist cannot buy a house in San Francisco.
Right. Yeah. And I as an artist and just a working person, the other part of it that I always think about is like, I love rent control. I wouldn't be here without rent control, but it's the golden handcuffs, right? It keeps us in our place. Like not being able to move around in your own city is a little bit of a like, wait, what?
Yeah. But somehow I love this place so much. You're going to have to claw me out of here.
That, exactly. But your parents...
So my parents...
In a different era,
were artists and creatives and were able to buy a house. And my sister and I, we grew up in the Haight-Ashbury on Clayton, between Haight and Waller, and then we moved over.
Dang.
641 Clayton Street.
Dang. That's like right in it.
Right in it.
Yes.
Double Rainbow Ice Cream was my ice cream parlor when I was a kid.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And then...
Did you say 70s? You and your sister?
80s.
The 80s, okay.
And then we moved over to where my mom is right now in Hazen Baker, and...
Oh, yeah, okay.
It's all about 94117.
Right, yeah. Western Edition?
Yeah, Western Edition.
Got it.
Yeah.
I used to live
Nopa
on...
now. Yeah.
I prefer
Yeah.
Western Edition. Nope is a restaurant to me. No, I lived at Hayes and Divisadero for 1 year.
So I grew up
a million years ago.
block away from there.
Amazing.
So
okay. Were you like a latchkey kid, like
both my parents worked. Yeah, well, my mom went back to work as soon as we went to school, and then my mom actually got a job at the urban school, which is where I got to go to high school.
Oh yeah, is that on Oak?
Yeah, on Oak Street. So.
Yeah, okay, I know the place.
Yeah. But we always had to call mom at 3:00 when we got home from school. But
other than that, you're kind of on your own.
We were until everyone got home. I was always, we would get a message I guess there was no text messages, but Mom, we would have to put the baked potatoes in the oven at a certain time or something like that to get dinner started.
I mean, that's just smart parenting, right? Because they're saving them time when they get home.
Right. So
that's amazing. So would you say grew up mostly late 80s, early 90s, early to mid 90s?
Kind of mid 80s.
Mid 80s to 90s.
Mid 80s to 90s. And then I went to UC Santa Barbara.
Okay.
So that was I started, we can go back. So I was always interested in moving and dance, and I grew up backstage at the Opera House and also just going to performances. I mean, going to see performances, theater, dance, everything was so much part of our culture.
Well, I was
going to
say, opera is performance, it's art, but it's not necessarily the kind of movement that I'm thinking of.
It's different.
It's not,
but my first professional paycheck, I'm still proud to say, was with the opera.
Amazing.
It was in 88 or 89.
Okay.
And I was in 5th grade.
Wow.
And I was a supernumerary, which is the supernumerary means people who carry the spears. I didn't carry a spear, but I was in Madame Butterfly as a kid in the wedding scene. Okay. And I got paid, I always love this. I got paid $5 for performances and $3 for rehearsals.
Oh my God.
And
that can add up for a kid.
Well, I got a check for like $87.
In 5th grade.
In 5th grade. Dang. And I actually opened the bank account that I still have today with that check.
Yes. I won't ask who you bank with, but I'm guessing.
Well, it's been 3 different banks since then.
I was going to say, like, they're still around.
They're not.
Amazing.
But it's been it ended up as Bank of America. But
yeah, that's amazing.
But anyways, it's kind of a cool story.
Yeah, it is. Do you think so? So you're talking about a time in your life, maybe when you got the bug, the performance bug?
I think I always wanted to be, when I was 4, you would have asked me what I wanted to do. I would have said dancer. And then by the time I was 9, I'd honed in trapeze artist. So I feel in some ways very lucky that I've always known what I wanted to do. How to get there and how to survive and how to make it all work that's always been the harder. I think people, maybe there's many different kinds, but some people don't know what they want to do with their lives and all of that. Sure. And that's one puzzle to figure out. Mm-hmm. And then for me, it was like, I know what I want to do, but boy, is it hard to exist, financially and figure out
to getting there,
how to get there.
Yeah. It's almost like what you hear about aspiring actors going to LA, and it's like, oh, well, they end up doing this or that.
Well, you do so many things. And I've, taught
just
Pilates and done all sorts of corporate work and all sorts of little things just to survive. So, which there's nothing wrong with that, but it's just that it's like picturing what you want to do and what is the road to get there.
Yes. And it's not always, it's not like a one size fits all sort of, there's not a book for it, or, they're right. Okay. So I want to know, how did you get there?
So when I was in 3rd grade, my parents, because of my friend Gabby, who you should also have on this podcast, we signed up for this kids' circus class together with the Pickle Family Circus.
Okay.
And
yes.
I still remember, I walked in the room, I'm like, oh, this is it.
This is, my
because
people.
This is this, I think, I just kind of, it's like this perfect kind of synergy of moving, of beauty, of silliness. You know, I always talk about my big influences personally since I was a little kid. I love MGM musicals and the colors. I love that. I love the Muppet Show. And I felt like the circus was just kind of this perfect place.
Yeah. Do you remember how you found out about Pickle Family?
Well, I grew up going to the shows as a kid.
Okay. So your parents knew
we knew it
them.
was new.
Got
and then my friend was going to take these Saturday circus classes, and I went along, and I was
amazing.
Like, this is it. So
where were those?
On Potrero Hill.
Okay.
It was when it was at 19th and Missouri Street,
Okay.
up at when the circus school was still up there.
Right. Okay. So you started taking.
So I started taking classes, and I just kept going, and then there was a circus. At my high school, we had a circus class.
Amazing. You got to say what school. Sorry.
Oh, I went
to
I went to the Urban School of San Francisco.
Yep.
Go
we
Blues.
just discussed. Yes.
Go Blues. Wonderful school. Wonderful. It was just an amazing experience. And then, I was kind of not sure what was going to happen next. And so I think I was a little, it's kind of on the fence about going to college. I also still was wanting, for me, dance was also always really important. And kind of came and went through my life and I was wanting to be a dancer also.
What kind of dancing?
Mostly modern dance, but I've certainly done a lot of time in the ballet studio.
Okay.
But the one thing about modern dance to me always that it never quite fit is I kind of have a wicked sense of humor, and I like the silliness of the world. And the modern dance was not always that silly. And
I don't think of it that way.
And the costumes were always a little drab.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I went to UC Santa Barbara, and I have a BFA in modern dance from UC Santa Barbara.
Okay.
But one of the things I really always also, and even actually when I was a little girl thinking about it, is just as much as I like performing, I love creating dances and creating movement, and even like mapping out. I kind of have this remembrance of being on the carpet and drawing out. We had this shag carpet. Actually, it's this one that we're on here in my apartment, and you can kind of draw out it's not as shaggy as it used to be, but the patterns of like where I wanted the movement to go with music and stuff like that. So I've always wanted to creating and moving bodies through space.
Is that the same thing as choreography?
It's choreography.
But you had specific ideas of.
Yeah, I was interested in choreography and that kind of thing. So,
do you want to talk about leaving San Francisco? Since it's
we can talk about. I know this is about San Francisco. I know. I love to talk about San Francisco.
At what, like 18-ish?
I was 18, and I went to UC Santa Barbara, and it was kind of a funny thing because I really wanted to go to school on the East Coast, and financially we just couldn't do it. So then my options were UC Berkeley, which I got in, and Santa Barbara. But I was like, well, I should try leaving the Bay Area for a moment.
Mm-hmm. The contrast.
Just the contrast. See what it's like. Let's see how far. Let's go away from home. And then kind of as soon as I got there, I was like,
oh no.
I was like, it's not this. You think I grew up in the Haight, in a pretty artistic family that were all good cooks, and you leave in a pretty progressive, and you leave this, and you're like, I thought the whole world was like San Francisco,
right?
Little Miss Pollyanna, and then so it was really good to leave, but
you knew right away. You're like, I'm here for a reason.
Yeah, and then there was a half a second I thought I might move to New York.
Okay. As an artist, that's not insane.
Which is, yeah, and as a dancer, I had just graduated college, and I was like, maybe, and often in college I would take dance workshops in New York during the summer, and kind of stick my toe in there, and I still love that city.
But San Francisco, there's no other place like
New York. And I still I actually went about a year and a half ago. I used to go regularly because also my grandparents were in Pennsylvania, and I would kind of go before and after or dance, and I did some shows there, and it's a wonderful city. And every time you get kind of energized by the city.
It's hard and almost impossible not to.
There's so much going on. There's so much to do. But I feel like San Francisco, I don't know, there's something about the air you get when the plane lands and you're on the little tube out of the airplane, you're like, okay, smell that fog.
Yeah, and you're either taking off or putting on layers.
Yeah,
depending
yeah,
on where you
and
are and
you're
what time of
never
year.
quite right with the layers.
Nope.
But
I've always expressed as like, I think maybe this is a transplant thing. I don't know. I've been here 26 years, but there's no place, because I moved around a little bit before I moved here, no place that I've lived where no matter where I went or how wonderful the trip was, I'm always happy to come home.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah,
And I'm
absolutely.
like, that's a sign of I belong here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Well, and I actually also love, for me, I'm still in my hometown.
Right.
So I run into people who've known me since I was, San Francisco's a small city.
Yes, it is.
And my husband's always joking about Abigail and all her friends that she's known forever.
Right.
My bestie from kindergarten and I still talk regularly, and I love that kind of depth of connection with the city.
Totally. And it speaks to not only you staying here, but the number of people who also just are able to stay here and want to stay here.
Yeah. And I feel also I love being an artist in the city, and I love creating, Circus Bella. The idea for Circus Bella happened 19 years ago, which is amazing.
Okay.
Like, we got the first phone call. And so I love, we've sort of becoming slowly the San Francisco institution.
Yes.
And I love that so much.
Yes. So this, I'm just kind of doing the math. This must have been not long after you returned from Santa Barbara.
So
Is
I
that
got,
right?
well, we had a few years. I got back in... You're kind.
I'm also bad at math.
I got back to San Francisco I graduated college. I got back in 2001. It was right after 9/11.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
And then I did a lot of cabaret shows and burlesque shows. And
Do you tell the companies or groups that you were with?
I always created my own things.
Okay.
And then I also toured, actually, and I did a lot of traveling at that point. And I toured with a very traditional tent show, Circus. I ran away and joined the Circus. Okay. And then I came back, and then in 2007, somebody called me and said, "Hey, do you have a circus?" And I said, "Yeah." And then I called a friend of mine who'd been on tour with me with this Italian circus, and I said, that idea we've been talking about bringing this idea. I grew up with Pickle Family Circus, and I think that's such a show that's so important for anyone who's in circus. It's very much part of the circus culture. It's also part of the performance culture of San Francisco. And people still remembered what it was. And I wanted to not be the same, but connect along the line of that thread, kind of keep that chain going and do the next thing.
Yes.
So before it was forgotten.
Right.
I always say we stand on the shoulders of the Pickle Family Circus.
Oh, and sometimes literally.
and sometimes literally.
Right? The only circus, not even adjacent, but like the only circus that we've covered on Storied San Francisco is Dear San Francisco.
We love Dear San Francisco.
That crew, the Gypsy Snyder and Seven Sisters, Seven Fingers, excuse me. So in my world, like that's when I think of San Francisco and circus.
Right.
But you're like, I have this other thing.
Well, it's the other thing. And I think, the one thing that I feel really proud of is that we've been here making circus for the last 19 years.
Right. I'll call it 20.
We can round up.
I'll call it 20.
But for the last, and what I'm also really proud of, is that the work is all created in San Francisco. It's very home. We actually have a performer from Seven Fingers right now, but we have our guest artists that come in, but we're not Canadian.
Right.
We do the work here.
Right.
And that to me is, and to just roll up our sleeves. And, that's what I feel like this last years just have been like, just make the show again and make the show, do the work again. And so I'm really proud of.
Was that intentional from the get-go?
Well, I think there was never a moment I was going to move to Canada. So it was sort of like, and to me also making shows, it's kind of like, it's sort of somewhere between intentional and I can't do anything else. But like I see these things in my head and I just have to see them.
Mm-hmm. So specifically with Circus Bella, when you went to create it, like when you said you called your friend and you're like, that idea.
Yeah.
What was that idea?
So this is kind of cool. It's a nice, cool.
And you mentioned Italian circus, I believe.
So
too,
we were touring with the Zoppe family circus, and
Okay.
they're a great, very traditional circus. They come around Redwood City usually in the fall.
Okay.
Go see them. And then when we got the phone call, I called David, and we had these weekly meetings at Boogaloo's on Valencia Street because I was living at 20th and Fair Oak Street at the time.
Okay. You were up the street from where I was.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
cool.
We would have these, and it's kind of cool because, you know, when you're in your, or for me, maybe not any, but you're involved, like my 20s, I was involved in so many different creative projects and little weird things that you're trying out and experimenting, and some good and some not so good. And most of it's not on film because we didn't have cell phones. But this project, there was more intention about what we were trying to do.
Right.
And so we had these Thursday mornings, breakfast at Boogaloo's, kind of thinking about what we were going to do. You know, I got the phone call in the fall, and then we had a gig coming up in April. So we were going to create this company for this show. We had like a $5,000 budget to make a show.
I'm going to guess that's not a lot of time. That's like we got to do this.
We got to do it.
Yeah.
And so we're like, okay, what are the things that are the most important to us in creating this company? And it was to be performing in the round, which we still, you know, and a lot of these things, it's kind of cool. We still do them. Performing in the round. And then we're sort of a hybrid of traditional circus and new circus. So new circus being like Dear San Francisco.
Okay.
And traditional on the whole, I mean, one end is Dear San Francisco is like really one end. Traditional, the other end would be Ringling Brothers.
Oh, like a 3-ring.
Like that kind of thing. So we're somewhere in the middle.
Okay.
Or Zoppe Circus, the one we had come from, like a very kind of in a ring, in a tent, family, circus families, that whole thing. So we were like, let's go somewhere in the middle. Also means that all of our performers come with their act. And then we work, but we also do a lot of transitions and things like that.
Okay. But no dancing bears.
No dancing bears.
Which is the other.
Yeah, well, that's so,
Ringling Brothers. Yeah.
So somewhere in the middle. And then we always wanted to have a live band.
Oh, awesome.
So we do have a live band.
Amazing.
And then we wanted to end the show with a big juggle, which is everybody in the club, in the cast throwing juggling clubs at each other, which is
God. Okay.
which is a lot. See this finger right here. For description, I have a Band-Aid on my middle finger because of a juggling accident yesterday.
Oh, well, get the kinks worked out before the performance.
Right. Lost a nail.
Yeah.
So anyways, so those things we really were kind of important to us in the beginning, and those are all still part of our show today. And they're also kind of in some ways signature aspects.
Would you say, is it fair to say that the inspirations, that there were many, that was like this, the Italian circus, it was Pickle Family, it was like
it's kind of all of this.
Synthesis
a synthesis of all the
this
things.
stuff.
Yeah, I think very much so.
Yeah.
And then you'll even see in the choreography of the opening, you'll see my modern dance choreography sort of come through in the way sometimes I get people to swoop through because I just love to watch bodies swoop through space.
Well, I'll go on record as saying, for me, art is art. And genres, I'm like, genres are a construct.
Yeah, right.
Aren't they?
Right.
Aren't they? It's like, who says that you can't do X, Y, and Z, that it has to be this, the whole thing, and it has to fit into someone's,
Yeah, we just, once again, I feel like Circus Bella, it's very much like I see something I've just kind of seen this in my brain, and we just have to put it out there.
Put it in the
show. And you should see, actually, I still feel like it's only a fraction of what's going on in my brain.
Oh, no, right. Well, you are an artist, after all. So, okay, well, would now be an time to talk about what's coming up? Because this episode is coming out this Friday, which is ahead of the next shows. That's right, amazing. That you're doing. So
I just came in from rehearsal. We have a new show called Aha, and it's about play and finding your laughter and kind of finding the resilience in that. Although, I mean, our stories are, it's not really, I mean, basically the beginning of I'm not going to say you have to come see the show, but we open, we have a preview performance in West Oakland, a week from today.
Okay.
And then
Is that like the second or
third?
Third. Yeah. June 3rd.
Yeah.
Okay.
circusbella.org for the correct dates. And then we're going to take the show down to Laguna Beach for a weekend, and then we'll be doing the world premiere at Yerba Buena Gardens Festival in a few weeks later in June.
Okay. And again, like you said, folks can go to your website.
circusbella.org for all the dates and
for more
times.
information.
Mm-hmm. And then we'll be running every weekend to the end of July.
Amazing. I was going to ask about tickets, but now I'm remembering the publicist's email that he sent me.
It's totally free.
The shows are free.
The shows are free.
Thank you. I wanted you to say it.
Yeah, the shows, I know, the shows are absolutely free.
So what?
Which is a miracle.
Thank you. That's so amazing. I love free shit. So
yeah, well, and I think this is, it's a miracle that we can pull this off every year. But, and all of our artists are paid.
Right.
I mean, it's very important to me that it's the best show we can possibly put on. So you're seeing really high top-notch performers, 6-piece live smoking band, and a really high quality show, but it's free. So you actually, and there's no, just grab your inner child and come to the circus.
Is there anyone you want to shout out for either their part in this or how they help make it free? I don't know.
Well, so it's a magical, once again, all the different parks that we go to help sponsor us.
Amazing.
And then this year, I received a Gerbode Artist Grant in partnership with Yerba Buena Gardens Festival. So that helped us actually with the production costs of this show. And then this year, we got a Swain grant, the Swain Family Foundation. That's going to bring us to a few more locations in San Francisco this year.
Wow.
So,
later in the year, not part of the summer program?
Part of the summer program. Our North Beach show and our... love North Beach. North Beach show, and we're going to also present the show in Union Square with that foundation grant. So
lovely. So this podcast is about what's coming up right now and Yerba Buena, but there's more stuff coming up as well.
So basically once we go, I can't remember exactly, but I think it's 21 performances.
Okay. Wow. I mean, I have an idea of what goes into one. Yeah. So when I hear stuff like 21, I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah. And we all, for the summer shows, we show up in a empty lot and we set up the whole show in the morning, do the show, and then put it all back in the truck and then move on to the next place the next day.
Incredible.
So it's beautiful.
Yeah. Okay. So besides your website, for folks who might want to follow you, are you on social media?
We're on the social media.
Other ways
Circus on Instagram, Circus Bella, Facebook, Circus Bella. There is a TikTok.
Go to the website for that. I can't keep up with all the stuff.
Yeah,
anyway.
But we're definitely presence on Instagram and Facebook, so you can find us there, and our website.
Awesome. Well, Abigail, thank you so much for coming on Story San Francisco. And to the listeners, I'll say it, you can say it too. Get out and go to the circus.
Go to the circus.
That was Abigail Munn. We recorded this podcast at Abigail's home in the Mission. On the next episode of Story San Francisco, meet and get to know SF born and raised artist and union worker, Painter George. Episode 19 drops next Tuesday, wherever you get podcasts. Music for Storied San Francisco was produced, performed, and curated by Otis McDonald. Our contributing producer is Aaron Lim of Bitch Talk Podcast. And the show is produced and hosted by me, Jeff Hunt. Now in our 8th season, we have more than 300 episodes available on our website, storiedsf.com, or wherever you listen to podcasts. If possible, please rate and review the show. I want to know what you think. Find us on Substack for our monthly newsletter and more. And follow us on Instagram and Threads at storiedsf. Reach us there or email us at storiedsf@gmail.com. Thanks for listening. Try to stay hopeful in these dark times. Keep being wacky, creative, and kind out there. And we'll see you next time on Storied San Francisco. We acknowledge and respect the first humans of the unceded land we call San Francisco, the Ramaytush Ohlone. We condemn the genocide of these and other tribes across the Western Hemisphere. We honor their legacy and history, and we support rematriation and sovereignty efforts.